Okay, we are back. We are back. Yes, we are back. Yes, we are back. Yes, we are back. We are back. We are back. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we are back. Yeah, we are back. We are. Okay, we are back. Okay, we are in Deuteronomy 12, verse 1. It's only 32 verses. Only 32 verses. So get yourself ready. You talk about the centralize all sacrifices. Centralize all sacrifices. So put that in your mind as we are reading. Okay? These are the statutes and ordinances that you must diligently observe in the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, has given you to occupy all the days that you live on the earth. 2. You must demolish completely all the places where the nation whom you are about to dispossess serve their gods, on the mountain height, on the hill, and under every leafy tree. 3. Break down their altars, smash their pillars, burn their sacrifice poles with fire, and hew down the idols of their gods, and though blot out their name from their places. 4. You shall not worship the Lord your God in such way. 5. But you shall seek the place that the Lord your God will choose out of all your tribe as his habitation to put his name there. You shall go there. 6. Bringing there your burnt offering and your sacrifices, your tithes and your donation, your motive gift, your freewill offering, and your firstling of your herds and flocks. 7. And you shall eat there in the presence of the Lord your God, you and your household together, rejoicing in all the undertaking in which the Lord your God has blesses you. 8. You shall not act as we are acting here today of today, all of us according to our own desire. 9. For you have not yet come into the rest and the possession that the Lord your God is giving you. 10. When you cross over the Jordan and live in the land that the Lord your God is allotting to you, and when he give you rest from your enemies all around, so that you live in safety. 11. Then you shall bring everything that I command you to the place that the Lord your God will choose as a dwelling for his name. Your burnt offering and your sacrifices, your tithes and your donation, and all your choice motive gift that you vow to the Lord. 12. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God, you together with your sons and your daughter, your male and your female slave, and the Levites who reside in your town, since they have no allotment or inheritance with you. 13. Take care that you do not offer your burnt offering at any place you happen to see. 14. But only at the place that the Lord will choose in one of your tribes. There you shall offer your burnt offering, and there you shall do everything I command you. 15. Yet, whenever you desire, you may slaughter and eat meat within any of your town, according to the blessing that the Lord your God has given you. The unclean and the clean may eat of it, as they would of gazelle or deer. 16. The blood However, you must not eat. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. 17. Nor may you eat within your town the tithes of your grain, your wine, and your oil, the firstling of your herds and your flocks, any of your motive gift that you vow, your free will offering, and your donation. 18. These you shall eat in the presence of the Lord your God at the place that the Lord your God will choose, you together with your sons and your daughter, your male and female slave, and the Levites residents in your town, rejoicing in the presence of the Lord your God, and in all your undertaking. 19. Take care that you do not neglect the Levites as long as you live in your town, in your land. 20. When the Lord your God enlarge your territory as he has promised you, and you say, I am going to eat some meat, because you wish to eat meat, you may eat meat whenever you have the desire. 21. If the place where the Lord your God will choose to put his name is too far from you, and you slaughter as I have commanded you, any of the herds or flock that the Lord has given you, that you may eat within your town whenever you desire. 22. Indeed, just as gazelle or deer is eaten, so you may eat it. The unclean and the clean alike may eat it. 23. Only be sure that you do not eat the blood, for the blood is the life, and you shall not eat the life with the meat. 24. Do not eat it. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. 25. Do not eat it, so that all may go well with you and your children after you, because you do what is right in the sight of the Lord. 26. But the sacred donation that are due from you, and your motive gift you shall bring to the place that the Lord will choose. 27. You shall present your burnt offering, both the meat and the blood, on the altar of the Lord your God. The blood of your other sacrifices shall be poured out beside the altar of the Lord your God, but the meat you may eat. 28. Be careful to obey all these words that I command you today, so that it may go well with you and your children after you forever, because you will be doing what is good and right in the sight of the Lord your God. Okay? 29. When the Lord your God has cut off before you the nation whom you are about to enter to dispose them, when you have disposed them and live in their land. 30. Take care that you are not snared into imitating them after they have been destroyed before you. Do not inquire concerning their God, saying, how did these nations worship their God? I also want to do the same. 31. You must not do the same for the Lord, that the Lord they hates they have done for their God. They would even burn their sons and their daughters in the fire to their God. 32. You must diligently observe everything that I command you. Do not add or take anything from it. Okay? So, verse 1 to 28 was talking about a centralized location. Okay? Now, a centralized sacrifice. Okay, a centralized sacrifice. Verse 2 and 3. Okay, verse 2 and 3. You must demolish completely all the place where the nation whom you are about to dispossess serve their gods on the mountain heights, on the hill, and under the leafy tree. 3. Burn down their altars, smash their pillars, burn their sacred pole with fire, and hew down the idols of their gods, and though blot out their names from their places. Okay? Verse 2 and 3. Israel local worship sites were often also used for Canaanite worship. Okay? Israel local worship sites were often also used for Canaanite worship. Okay? Now, when you talk about sacred pole, Asherim. Sacred pole is Asherim. 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 Right? Asherim. Were Asherim. Right? The sacred pole were wooden symbol of the goddess Asherah. Okay? The sacred pole were Asherim. They were wooden symbol for the goddess Asherah. That's Asherah. Okay? So God was trying to tell the people, break down their pillars. Whatever town I put you in, don't worship their God. As you heard me read before in previous chapters, God was saying the same thing to the Israelites. Don't worship no other gods except for him. And he repeated again in chapter 12. Not only one time, but he repeated a second time. Do not worship other gods. Break down their pillars. Destroy everything. When you get to their town, don't try to be like them. Don't imitate them. Don't talk like them. Don't ask questions about their gods. Right? So you don't be enticed to know and do the same. Get away from their gods. Okay? As a child of God, you have no business asking questions about how their God do whatever. So you may be snared into, okay, let me try it. Temptation, right? Temptation may kill you. So please, when you get to another place, don't ask. Okay? Even now. If you have people, a lot of us have friends, family who who um who may do, you know, idol worship. You may know somebody who still go see a psychic. Okay, just may make it break it down a little bit more simple. Psychics, palm readers, all these are evil things that God do not like. Right? The person who's doing the the palm reading, right? They're serving their God to get the power to read your arm, to read your hands, to tell you futures. They're serving a God. It's not the God, but they're serving a God. Right? And you who's going to see them out of curiosity, which what the Lord is saying, be careful not to be enticed to those kind of people because they do idol worship, and you may be enticed to start going there all the time. You go once, you may go twice, right? And then you get yourself hooked in those things. These are all idols things, and God do not appreciate that. So the blessing that's gonna come to you and your home, you're gonna actually remove the blessing out of your home because you start to get involved into things that you have no business getting involved in. Right? Now, verse 5. But you shall seek, but you shall seek the place that the Lord your God will choose out of your tribe as an habitation to put his name there. You shall go there, right? You shall seek where God is talking to his people. You shall seek the house of God. You shall seek the quiet place in your home, right? So you could meditate and pray and worship to God, and not concentrating in how to build altars and how to do sacrifices to a useless God who can even speak to you, right? Now, the Lord is not present there directly, but in the form of his name. The the central sanctuary is to be a focus of pilgrimage, right? A a pil a, a focus of pilgrimage, right? So for them to go there, right? Because here, go there. Okay. And verse 5. He said, you shall go there, right? You shall go wherever God put his name in. The place that he choose, you shall go there. But you shall not go where the people of the town is doing idol worship. That's why when you get to that town, you must destroy the people, and destroy their altars and their sacrifices, and throw everything away, burn them, destroy them, because they cannot be among you. Okay? Now, verse 6. Verse 6. Bring there your burnt offering and your sacrifice, your tithes and your donation, your motive gift and your free will offering, and the firstling of your herds and flocks. Okay? Every sacrifice and offering must be taken there. Right? Must be taken there. Let's talk about taken there. Right? Let's do verse 11. Verse 11. Then you shall bring everything that I commanding you to the place that the Lord your God will choose as a dwelling for his name, your burnt offering and your sacrifice, your tithes and your donation, and all your choice gift and give that you vow to the Lord. Okay, now continue on to verse 13 and 14. Take care that you do not offer your burnt offering at any place you happen to see, but only at the place that the Lord would choose in one of your tribe. There you shall offer your burnt offering, and there you shall do everything I commanded you. Right? That's why I said, go there. Go there. Verse 17. Verse 17. Nor may you eat within your town the tithes of your grain, your vines, and your oil, the firstling of your herds and your flocks, any of your mercy gift that you vow, your free will offering, and your donation. Okay, that was verse 17. Now let's continue to verse 26 and 27. Okay. But the sacred donation that are due from you and your motive gift, you shall bring to the place that the Lord will choose. You shall present your burnt offering, both the meat and the blood, on the altar of the Lord your God. The blood of the blood of your other sacrifices shall be poured out beside the altar of the Lord your God, but the meat you may eat. Right? You talk about this is where. Where is that? At the altar of the Lord your God. Okay, good. Now let's continue to with verse 7. Let's do verse 7 review. That was verse 6 review. Okay, verse 7. And you shall eat there in the presence of the Lord your God, you and your household together, rejoicing in all the undertaking in which the Lord your God has blessed you. Okay? Now, most sacrifices culminate in a joyous meal. Right? Most sacrifices, when they finish done, is they create a joyous meal. The people are able to eat it and eat it together and be joyful due to the sacrifice that they had made. Right? Yes. And verse 7, review. When you make a sacrifice in front of God and the Lord had to accept your sacrifice, yes, it's a joyous moment that you would like to share. All right? A joyous meal. Joyous. A happy meal. Now, verse 12. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God, you together with your sons and your daughter, your male and female slave, and the Levites who reside in your town, since they have no allotment or inheritance with you. Right? The talk about verse 12 about the worship assembly is to be inclusive, including women and and marginalized group, right? So we did. Let's do verse 18 and 19 as reference for this, for verse 12. Okay? These you shall eat in the presence of the Lord your God, at the place that the Lord your God will choose, you together with your sons and your daughter, your male and female slave, and the Levites residing in your town, rejoicing in the presence of the Lord your God in all of your undertaking. Everything that you do, rejoice in the Lord, right? Um, let's continue on. That was verse 18. Now 19. Take care that you do not neglect the Levites as long as you live in your land. Why did God say take up the Levites? Because the Levites have no allotment of land, allotment of anything. It's God who is providing for them. Right? Now, verse 15 review. Yet, whenever you desire, you may slaughter and eat meat within any of your town, according to the blessing that the Lord your God has given you. The unclean and the clean may eat of it, as they would of gazelle and deer. Right? All animals slaughtered was potentially a religious act. Right? If you're going to kill an animal, it was mostly for a religious act. Okay? Centralized sacrifice meant that killing animals locally would now be a pure circular affair. Those who eat such non-sacrificial meat would be in a state of ritual uncleanness. We did a video on that, on ritual uncleanness, right? So let me read to you verse 21 and 22. If the place where the Lord your God will choose to put his name is too far from you, and you slaughter as I have commanded you, any of the herds of flock that the Lord has given you, then you may eat within your town whenever you desire. 22. And did just as gazelle or deer is eaten, so you may eat it. The unclean and the clean alike may eat it. Okay? Now let's do verse 16 review. The blood, however, you must not eat it. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. Right? God did not want people to eat blood. Blood was dangerous and powerful and could never be eaten. Right? Blood is dangerous, was dangerous and powerful and could never be eaten. It must be disposed of in a complete non-circular manner. Pouring on the ground like water, right? Pouring it on the ground like water. Let's read 23 and 25. Only be sure that you do not eat the blood, for the blood is the life, and you shall not eat the life with the meat. 24. Do not eat it. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. 25. Do not eat it, so that all may go well with you and your children after you, because you do what is right in the presence of the Lord. Okay? So if you want the blessing of the Lord and you want everything to be right with you, with the Lord, right? Do not eat blood. I know, is it Germany? I think it's Germany. They do a blood sausage. They have it here in the United States too. Some farmer markets still sell it. Blood sausage, right? It's, the Bible said don't eat the blood, right? Don't eat the blood. Because because the blood have to go back to God, right? That's where all power come from, the blood. When you watch rituals, movies, what do you see? They take the life for a life, right? You think those sacrifices that they do in the rituals and spells that they do in the movies don't have people, they don't have a root in the Bible? It does. They use the blood which have life to make evil act on the movies, right? But the Bible clearly tell you don't eat the blood because everything comes from the blood, right? It's very powerful. It's very dangerous. So it's best not to eat blood at all. Okay? It is against the word of God. Hopefully you come back again. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully you come back again. So we're gonna do another movie, which not gonna take no more than 15 minutes, hopefully. Is talk about worship at a central sanctuary. We talk about centralized or sacrifice, right? So we're gonna talk more about that because it goes hand in hand with chapter 12 that we just read. So I'm going to do that next. Hopefully you see it first thing in the morning. May the glory of God be with you. May God protect you, watch over you. Peace be unto you in your home. Shalom. Please share this video. Share this video. Follow us and donate. There's a link at the end of each video. You could click on it and you can donate. If the link is not there, I'm sure there's a lot of videos that have the link on it. It's through PayPal. It's a completely safe. Please pray for us. Keep us in prayer as we grow in the Lord. Amen. Shalom.